Hey, I'm here at Gen Con 2018, and I'm here with Ross, and Ross works at IDW Games.
How you doing, Michael?
Nice to meet you.
Definitely, man.
Yeah. So Ross here wanted to show me a bunch of stuff. Now, you might know IDW from the comics. They publish a lot of comics and other entertainment. And their games division has a lot of games based on their IP.
That's right.
Now, that's not the only thing you guys have, but that's something that I've noticed. You know, you guys sort of work with a lot of companies.
We do.
A lot of IPs to do some awesome things.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of goodies to show us today,
We do.
right?
It's been a really cool Gen Con. So, and in this case over here, what we're showing up right now is we have our Wayward game. So it's the first we've shown off of it ever. So it's the first time we put the box top, put the miniatures, very, very cool. So it's Wayward's a comic by Jim Zub, and the art by Stephen Cummings. And again, the game's by John Gilmore. Right. It's a 1 to 6 player. It's going to be an adventure game. Okay. So there's the cool little, there's the art, there's the miniatures right there. Kind of the first preview. Very, very cool to see. You see a lot more of that coming soon. So kind of cool as that first little show off. Along with that, we have our Batman games. There's been a lot about it. We're running demos right over there in the hall too. It's very, very neat. We have it's Batman the Animated Series, Gotham City Under Siege. So it's by Richard Vonius. So it's a co-op threat management dice allocation game. And so what you're doing is you are, there's 4 acts in the game. And so at the beginning of each act, the board is going to be flooded with thugs and ninjas and henchmen. And then there's going to be Poison Ivy and all kinds of bad guys that are going to come in and they're going to invade the city. So you're going to roll your dice, and on each turn you're going to pick your dice. Either they're going to go and you're going to solve the story cards that are like Showdown with the Joker, and so you're going to solve those things. Or what you can do is you can use those to fight off like the thugs and the henchmen and all kinds of other bad guys. And at the end of each act, depending on how many things we've solved, there may be guys up on the board, and they can blow up the buildings and do all kinds of bad things to you. And if the buildings get blown up, there's a city tracker board, which has your civilians and explosions on it. And if that gets to 0, you lose. So you got to keep the city safe until the end of Act 4. A very good effort for Batman, right? You got to rock it out and do it all up.
Exactly.
It's always crazy. So that's what's going on with that game. It's super cool. All new art, the 140 pieces of brand new art for the animated series. And it's rocking out.
Awesome.
Yeah. So then we also have our Master Red Death. We don't got to go too far down on that, which is fine. And so, but for our Master Red Death game, we had it on Kickstarter, and then it's now available. It's been going to backers, which is super great. It's in stores right now, and we're having the deluxe versions here. So it's got the cool miniatures and the art and all the different pieces like that, and it's in this cool deluxe board. It's very, very neat.
Fantastic.
So we got more over that way. So we just want to walk with it.
So this shelf is like my childhood, my childhood in a shelf.
Awesome.
All these IPs. Let's talk about these. I'm really excited to see Splat Attack.
Yeah, so Splat Attack. So it was on Kickstarter, but now it's on BackerKit for about another month. And so it's a 96 tunes food fight area control game. So it's designed by Jonathan Ying, and so you've got teams for SpongeBob, Invader Zim, Rugrats, and Hey Arnold. So you're all trying to fight to be the coolest kid at the food court. So you're throwing food, all kinds of cool stuff. We have the Reptar Rampage expansion too, which is pretty neat. And then during the Kickstarter, we also previewed that we're going to have wild thornberries, real monsters, and all kinds of cool stuff like that.
My Saturday morning in a box.
Yeah, totally. So it's super fun. So it'll be out later this year.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And this was part of the expansion?
Yeah. So it's called Reptar's Rampage expansion, and so Reptar's going to come on the board.
Okay.
He's going to stomp around, and you can throw food at him, and they can move around to other characters, or you can take control of him and then move him around.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool.
More of this one.
Yeah.
Now, I guess let's move our way down to the next one then. Let's talk about Sonic the Hedgehog.
So we have Sonic. It's our first time showing it off ever.
Okay.
So this is our Sonic the Hedgehog Crash Course game. It was 4 fully painted miniatures. It's going to be only available at GameStop. And so it comes with a #1 variant art issue comic. Because IDW also does the Sonic the Hedgehog comics.
Right.
So then along with that, it's a racing game, and they're racing to get the most Chaos Emeralds. And so you're working hard to do that. Over in the corner, if you wanted to get that, Sean is right over there. She can help you out with that. You're all good to go. 30. Yay! And so Sonic the Hedgehog.
Part of the show.
We're in the booth, right? And so it's a cool racing game. It's super fun. That's all I can really share right now because we haven't shown too much, but there it is. And so it's getting super cool. The art style really kind of makes it happen, right? And so it's that cool, almost Genesis-esque kind of stuff, which is super neat.
Okay, so we've got our last one. So
Yeah. So we can go down there. Let's do that. Here we go.
So this looks a little bit different. I recognize the Munchkin name, but everything on board looks a little different.
Yeah. So we did a partnership with Steve Jackson Games for Munchkin Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And so it's all new art from Kevin Eastman, over 140 pieces. And so we did a Kickstarter for it a couple months ago. It did really well. It'll be shipping to backers in about later this year.
Okay.
And so it's all new art, which is super cool. And you're playing as the Turtles you got to get to level 10.
Okay.
And so instead of playing as like a human or a mutanimal, you're all playing as the turtles. Casey Jones, April O'Neil. We got you saw Yojimbo in there, Slash, and Pepperoni too. It's all kinds of fun characters, and so you've got these cool like team up power bonuses you can get. And a lot of the monsters are like a little harder than most normal Munchkin games. So Shredder's in there, Technodrum. You've got Baxter in there as well. And when he comes out, depending on how many tablets and devices are on the table, he gets bonuses and stuff like that too.
Neat.
So yeah, it's super fun. So we have 3 versions. We have our standard version, which is just the cards. We have our deluxe version, which we have here, and it's got the standees, the cards, the miniatures, the board. And then we have our deluxe ultimate version, which is the deluxe version, but it's all duo shade.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's super cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of these releases.
Me too.
So before we go, I do want to see if we can get a shot of everything else there. It's just to show that beyond what the games that we just spoke about, there's still a lot more to see. We can sort of peek over the horizon there.
Yeah. So we've got like Sakatsu, Roar. We have our big Legend of Korra game. Along with that, we've also previewed that we're going to be doing 2 Dragon Ball games. We got a Dragon Ball Z and a Dragon Ball Super game in the works.
Oh, Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah. And we're also relaunching our Teenage Mutant Turtles miniatures game with the Team and T Adventures game. So we're going to be running demos for it right over there too. All new miniatures, all new art, all that is going to be super awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a lot going on, right? Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time.
No problem, thank you.
If you are at Gen Con, and this is getting to you in time, please make sure to check out the booth. The booth number is
158.
158.
And if not, you can find us online on Facebook and social media.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man. Definitely.